Hi, my name is Mr. Gooder, and I'd like to go over some vocabulary that we're going to be using in our exponents unit. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is solving. So solving is a good vocabulary word. And when we talk about solving, we're talking about solving an equation. So for instance, if I had x plus 5 equals 9, then I could solve it for x, what the variable is, or the quantity that we want to know that will balance both sides of the equation. So I would subtract 5 from both sides, and so x equals 4. That means that if x has the value of 4, this side of the equation will equal that side of the equation. So that's what we mean by solving. We're looking for a particular number that the variable will be equaling. So we can solve an equation because we have two sides that need to be equal, and we're figuring out something that is going to get us there. An equation is a group of terms such as x and 5 that are related to each other and then set equal to something else. So all equal signs are going to give us the basis for an equation. So we have two vocabulary words now, solving and equation. All right? So these are the two words that I'd like to go over right now in order to contrast them to two other words I would like to talk about. The other two words are an expression and evaluating or simplifying. So in this exponents unit, we're going to be really not solving an equation, but we're going to be simplifying expressions. So let me write the word expression here. So an expression is a group of terms that are related to each other through addition, subtraction, other operations like that, but there's no equal sign. So if I said, let's say 4 squared plus 5, that's not equal to anything. I don't want it to be set equal to something where I'm trying to find a variable. This is an expression, there's no equal sign. So if we have an expression, what we can do is one of two things. We can either evaluate it or we can simplify. So let's talk about evaluating. Evaluating means that I want to figure out what the quantity is being represented here. So if 4 squared equals 16 and I add it to 5, then this expression, when I evaluate it, would have the worth of 21. So I could say that I would be evaluating this expression and I would then get 21. That is different than solving, because solving would be implying that there is a variable that I don't know what it's worth and I want to figure that out. Here there isn't a variable that I'm solving for, so I call what I'm doing right here evaluating an expression. You can evaluate a term, you don't need to evaluate an expression. Let's say that we had just one term, just maybe 4 squared. If we had 4 squared and I said, please evaluate that, then I would be saying, all right, I want to see that this is really represented by the full digit 16, all right? So that's what I would like to do if I am evaluating a term or evaluating an expression, all right? Now, there is another thing that I'd like to talk about in terms of expressions, and you may see this on one of your questions. It may ask you to simplify an expression. All right, so let's see, simplifying an expression. This is another vocabulary word, to simplify. All right, let's say that I had 5 times 5. Now, I'm not asking you to evaluate it. If you were to evaluate 5 times 5, you would say it's 25. All right, that's great. But sometimes if the numbers are so large that we don't want to really bother actually figuring out what quantity it's going to finally represent, we want to actually make it in terms of a exponential notation. Exponential notation. or exponential form. You could also say exponential form, all right? And when I want to simplify this expression, this is an expression, it's not an equation, there's no equal sign. It is an expression, and if I would like to simplify this expression, I would like to basically rewrite what's here, but in a shorthand way, all right? To sort of simplify or parse down what I'm really trying to say. So what I can do is I can rewrite this expression in a form of exponential notation or exponential form, which means I'm going to rewrite this, but in a shorter way with exponents. So this 5 times 5 can be rewritten or simplified to 5 squared. I don't want to actually know that this is 25. All I'm asking is, could you simplify this expression to something shorter? And yes, I can in this case. There certainly are more complicated examples that we could do, which we'll do in later videos, but that's really where I want to start right now. Thank you.